Oh, thank you. Just gotta put this on. Hello. Today I'm going to be reviewing the food I ate at Disneyland Paris. I'm going to give you a top 10, and this is just based on the places I ate during my recent trip in December. So it doesn't include the places I didn't eat at, obviously. So coming in at joint 9 and 10 are two things I didn't actually eat, so I'm already breaking my rule, and that is the Mickey Gingerbread and a luxury hot chocolate, because I couldn't find either of them, and that's why they're last place. So they're the two things I was particularly looking forward to, and it was Christmas, and I thought, yes, what better way than to have a nice hot chocolate and Mickey Gingerbread. But the hot chocolates, I couldn't find any specialist ones, and by specialist I mean like a bit fancy with, like, I don't know, cream on top and like a little mini gingerbread man sticking out the top and some kind of sprinkles or a candy cane in it, and yeah, they just didn't have anything like that. Although I since found out from someone that in the Disneyland hotel they apparently did a good hot chocolate, but I didn't find it. And then the Mickey Gingerbread man, that was my mission for the trip, to find one. I did see one in Walt Disney Studios, and it was in one of the like food stands. Yeah, so I queued up, and it was just one of those queues that's not moving, and I waited like 5 minutes or so, hadn't moved at all, and we were trying to get to a show. So in the end I thought, no, we're going to miss the show because this queue's not going anywhere. So I came out of the queue thinking, oh, I'll see one later, and I never saw another Mickey Gingerbread. So yeah, I was just disappointed because it was like one of the things I was looking forward to and didn't get to experience. So that's why the Mickey Gingerbread and hot chocolate are 9th and 10th place. Sat really awkwardly, trying to get Missy in the shot, but I feel like I'm all slumped over. Hang on, Missy, let me just... Oops! Oh no, now I've lost my notes. So in 8th place we have Café Hyperion, and this is in Discoveryland. The reason it's 8th is just didn't have a very good experience there this time. We ended up there for our evening meal, but we were quite tired at the time, so we didn't start off in the best of moods. The way it's laid out, there's a lot of seating sort of on a raised area, and then the place where you order your food, there's like a counter that feels like a very long walk from the tables, but we weren't allowed to sit at a table without having got the food first, and Terry just wanted to sit down, so it was quite stressful, like, because I'm a stickler for the rules. I wouldn't let her sit at a table without food because that's what the sign said. So we ended up having to find a chair just by the door. There were a couple of chairs just randomly by the doorway, and then we did the mobile order, so we didn't have to like join the big queue, and the mobile ordering was easy enough, but then we didn't know where to collect the food, so we stood at one thing that looked like a collection point, and I think it might have said collection, but then when we got to the front they were like, no, this is not the right place, and then we just had to join the queue that we would have if we were ordering anyway. So that was kind of pointless. And then yeah, it was just kind of noisy in there, and like the table we sat at had like the people before's like mess on it still, and like the whole time we were sat there no one came round to clear the tables, so we were at like a dirty table, and I think I had burger and chips. It was okay, just not remarkable. And then I also had the pink beignets, which were again disappointing because they weren't what I thought they were going to be. So that's why Café Hyperion comes in at 8th place. At number 7, I have one of the specialist food items that I think was there just over Christmas, and it was the I can't even remember what it's called. I called it the Raclette, but I think when I looked it up online, it was like Reblon tartiflette or something. It was basically potato like slices in a creamy like garlic and bacon sauce, and yeah, it was in one of the temporary food stands that was there in Christmas in Fantasyland. It was served on like a little rectangular paper plate, which was quite awkward because trying to like scoop it onto the fork, it was sort of falling off the edges, and it did fall down my coat. So it would have been better in a dish that had like sides maybe. And then also because it was late at night and it was cold and I was outdoors, it just went cold very quickly around the edges. And it was also spoilt a bit by the fact that I was like walking and eating, which I guess is my fault, but there were no like tables or anything, and I was heading to Peter Pan's flight and wanted to get in the queue quick, so I was like trying to eat it on the move, which is why it ended up down my coat and why it ended up in 7th place. Coming in at number 6 is the Main Street Deli. This is like a self-service bakery style place, and I think I just made a bad choice here because I went for another beignet despite not having liked the first beignet I had. I thought maybe I'd got like a bad one and wanted to try again, but I just don't like beignets. I couldn't even work out whether it was a cake or a bread, or it was just weird and not how I expected. The actual restaurant or cafe it's quite nice. It was a very slow moving queue, and it was self-service, so you go along with your tray and just pick what you want from the stand, and then I think it was maybe the drinks that were holding up the queue, and it did take a while, and we sat outdoors where we were lucky to get a table because it was very busy. I have eaten there before and I think had a baguette or something, or cheese toasty that was good. So it's an okay place, but for this trip it came in 6th. Coming in at number 5, we have Casa de Coco in Frontierland. This is the place I went to on my own on the last evening, and I went in just before closing, so it was nice and quiet. I did enjoy the ambience of the place, and it had a nice atmosphere with the like Mexican music playing, and it was just nicely themed inside. The food let it down a bit. The burrito I had was just not much flavour. They didn't put much meat in, so it was mostly rice, and there wasn't much of a sauce through the mince either, so it was okay, just not brilliant. And I also had the hot chocolate there, which I know I've already said I couldn't get a hot chocolate. This was a standard machine hot chocolate, which was rubbish because they didn't fill the cup up properly. They give you these big like reusable plastic cups, but then only fill it halfway up, so you feel like you're getting half of what you paid for. Either get smaller cups or fill them to the top. But yeah, as it was, I was grateful because it was hot, and it was a very cold night and I'd been outside, so it was nice in that respect. But Yes, could do better by filling the cups to the top, I think. So in fourth place we have Stark Factory, that was over in the World of Marvel at Walt Disney Studios. So this was a self-service restaurant, and I kind of liked that because you didn't have to worry about a language barrier when trying to order your food. So everything was arranged on like a counter, and you went up with your tray and you just took what you wanted. There was a nice selection of different flavour pizzas to take, and they all looked pretty good, to be honest. There was also a nice range of desserts, and then drinks, and also salads that you could have as well. So it was a nice choice of food, and it was also good that it was like in front of you, because sometimes when you order from the menu, when the food arrives, it's not quite what you think. So being able to just see it in front of you and take what you wanted was nice. It was quite a big restaurant, so there was lots of seating. The pizza was more of a like ciabatta style bread than a typical like pizza dough. So it was quite tough to cut with like a knife and fork, because I was trying not to like pick it up. But yeah, it was quite challenging with the plastic cutlery, but it was still nice. And the slice was big enough that I saved half of it for my evening snack. At number 3 we have Cowboy Cookout in Frontierland. So this restaurant offers barbecue style food, and it's got lovely theming of like Wild West inside, and the food was very good and quite big portions as well, which is good if you're greedy like me. You feel like you're getting good value for money, although it was on the pricey side, I think, but most places are in Disney. I forget the name of my meal, but it was like a rib and chicken combo, maybe with a sausage as well, and it was really nice. The things that let this restaurant down were the rude staff. This is where the lady at the entrance was rude to us as we came in, and this is because we wanted to sit down and do a mobile order from the luxury of a chair, but there was a lady sort of guarding the seating area, trying to herd us into the queue. And when we said like, can we sit down and order from there, she was just like, nope, and like forced us into a queue. So that could have been a bit friendlier. And also there are some annoying kids in here, at the risk of sounding like a moany middle-aged woman. Kids running around like playing chase in a busy restaurant just kind of made me a bit annoyed that the parents should have told them to sit down, because you had people walking through with like trays of food, and then like near where we were sat there was like a couple of kids running around and like playing, and it was not the place to do that, so it lost a point for that. So coming in at number 2 was the Hakuna Matata restaurant in Adventureland. This was a bit of a curveball actually. I wasn't expecting it to place so highly. We stopped there on the second day, just after we'd seen the Lion King show. We initially tried to go to Cowboy Cookout, but we thought it was closed, so we just carried on walking and ended up at Hakuna Matata. And initially I was a bit like, not that fussed about going in, because I had my heart set on the barbecue food. But actually it was very nice in there. I had the chicken and rice, and it was really delicious. And it was quite a change to have something that wasn't like your typical like theme park food. I always think of like burgers and hot dogs and stuff with chips. So chicken and rice felt like a very civilized meal. And inside, I think, again, it was nice because it was quiet. We were there, I think, quite early, so maybe just before 5 o'clock, so it wasn't in the middle of a rush. so there was lots of tables available, and yeah, we weren't surrounded by too many people, which is nice. So it was just a nice relaxed meal, and it was kind of fitting because we'd just seen the Lion King show. So then in the restaurant, I think some of the like Lion King music was playing in the background, and it just made a lovely atmosphere. So coming in at number 1 is Captain Jack's in Adventureland. So this is the restaurant that you see from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and the theming in there is just lovely. It's very dark, but you've got like little candles and like dim like fairy lights, and it's part of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So it's somewhere I've always wanted to eat at, and it was just really exciting to finally get a chance to do so. And I think I was also excited because it was unexpected. We weren't booked to go in there, and we'd just done the Pirates ride, and when we came out I was like, I've always wanted to go in that restaurant. And we thought, should we just go in and see if they've got any tables today? And this was on Christmas Day, so we were kind of thinking, it's unlikely they're going to have spaces, but we'll ask just in case. And they were like, yes, we've got one now. So it was like, okay. And yeah, that was just like an impromptu moment that was just like meant to be. Yeah, so that just added to the excitement, like the fact that we felt very lucky that they could squeeze us in. So inside, it was all very dimly lit, which made it a bit hard to read the menu, but it added to the like atmosphere, and I loved having the sort of music in the background and watching the boats go by on the ride. The menu is a bit limited in that it serves Caribbean cuisine, so some of the choices on there are a bit like unusual, I suppose, for my like traditional English tastes. So I think there was like 6 or 7 main courses on there to choose from, and all of them were a bit unusual, as I would say. I had the beef casserole, which I really liked. Sarah is a bit more fussy than me. I think she had like jerk pork, but she only ate like the pork part of it and then left the rest because she didn't like it. So keep that in mind if you're planning on eating at any of the like table service restaurants. They tend to have their like own theme, so check the menu first to make sure you like what they serve. So for me, that added to like the excitement of eating there, just trying something a bit different to what I would normally have. We also splashed out and had the cocktails, or mocktails we went for, which were the like pina colada flavour, and they were really nice and served in the big like coconut cups, which again just added to the experience and made it really exciting. The price was outrageous, but it's still my number 1. So that's how I rated the restaurants I ate at for this trip. Let me know in the comments if there's any restaurants there that you would recommend I eat at next time. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please give it a like and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss my future videos. Thanks for watching.